There are some things in this world that go way beyond human understanding. Things that cannot be explained, things that most people don't want to know about. That is where we come.
Do you know what the most frightening thing in the world is? It's fear.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid!
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
It's all true. The boogeyman is real, and you found him.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
I see dead people.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
They're here.
And welcome back to Ghost
Freaking
Talking. That's right, Ghost Freaking Talking, the paranormal podcast you don't take home to mama. I am your humble host. My name is Nick.
And I'm Newsroom Nessie.
And we are live here at Wolf Hollow in Rockford, Illinois. This is our second session.
Yeah, part deux.
Part deux. So if you guys have not listened to part uno, I don't know.
Be Spanish.
I don't know. What's one?
In French?
In French. If you haven't listened to part then go back and listen to part on YouTube or wherever you're listening to this podcast. We had pretty good interviews on the first round with Pete from Twisted Crypt. Mistress Peace Theater was here. And then we talked to the Winnebago County Ghostbusters. Whoa. Full show for the first half.
Yeah, sure was.
And we're going to kick off our second session with Linda from UAW Paranormal. Is that correct?
UAW 1268 Paranormal Committee.
Okay.
That's a mouthful.
That's a mouthful. But I believe you were, I think, on our second podcast that when we were doing live here.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And we are proud to have you back here. And
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure in the last couple of years you've had some new experiences and you've gone and
new adventures to talk about.
Seen some new.
Yes, we went on to like urban exploring a little bit just to check out the places to see what we feel.
Yeah.
Before somebody else says, "Oh, you're gonna feel this."
Mm-hmm.
And the one house that there's a lot about, it's on Sterling Street in Streeter, Illinois. It's called the Death House.
Okay.
And they're remodeling now. I think it was built in 1921, and it was the Oliver family. The wife mysteriously died in her sleep. But I had read that she was a little bit overweight, so...
Oh, yeah.
You know, they didn't know, and they didn't really do autopsies back then.
Yeah,
and then
different
in
time.
the 40s, they sold it to... It was bought by another family. I think they paid like $9,800 for it.
Wow.
And they had two sons, Dale and God, I can't remember that guy's name. Robert.
Okay.
And they were called the Hooligans. They never did anything too bad, just normal, you know, drinking underage, disorderly conduct, DUIs, nothing murderous in that. But one of them, you know, succumbed to cirrhosis of the liver and died in his sleep. So there's technically only 2 deaths in the house.
Okay.
But out of all the places I've been to, Waverly, Ashmore, Melbourne Manor, that place creeped me out.
Really?
There's just something upstairs that felt mocking. And I'm the yogi for my friends, you know. We go urban exploring, you go. You're not out in a little bit, we'll call 911. So I walked around out back, and there's like a hatchet laying there. And I'm like,
oh.
Like, okay, this is enough for me. And I went back and talked to my friend, and she said she was standing out by the Jeep. She said, I'm too creeped out to go any further. She said it felt like somebody pushed her.
Oh.
And the hooligan boys supposedly rode their bikes up and down the road when we were getting ready to leave. We saw 2 kids on bikes.
Wow.
Which is coincidental, but it's
Right.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, and you brought pictures here today of the house, and I definitely, just looking at the front door of it, it gives me a vibe of you probably shouldn't go in that door.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty ominous looking house. And did you bring your equipment to this, or was it just total
I had my REM pod. It didn't really do much, but like I said, I didn't want to stay at that place any longer.
Yeah.
It was just too creepy. It's like something dark is upstairs, and I think the more they remodel, the more they're gonna have problems.
Yeah, because it's just gonna upset the norm for them, and there's
somebody just recently bought it last year. I think in December of 22.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I mean, I wish I could talk to them.
I know.
I tried to do property searches to see who had it in what years.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't figure out how to do it. But it's sat vacant for a long time.
Well, yeah, I'm curious to know if they experience any kind of activity during the remodel while the workers are there, or if anyone lives in it, during the process, or probably not. It needs a lot of work.
I mean, some of the stuff was new, and it's like you could just like crawl through the windows if you wanted to.
Oh wow. For because you've said you're doing a little bit more urban exploring. Do you ever get in trouble when you go into places?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I've wondered about that too. Like, obviously going into like Waverly, for example, is that open to the public?
Yeah.
It is. Okay,
Yeah,
I
that one
haven't really
was-
looked into it, but
We went to an abandoned cement factory,
okay.
Southern Illinois, and it says no trespassing and everything.
Right.
But we were only going up to the fence to take pictures. And all of a sudden I see this car just barreling across
Flying
the grass.
down.
And it was a cop. And, he was pretty cool about it. He just said, you can't be here. And I said, well, can't I just take pictures through the fence? He's
Yeah.
like, no.
Oh,
Absolutely
really?
not.
He wouldn't even let you
The
do
property went back, acres. It was
Wow.
so cool, but he's like, no. But he was really decent about it. I always laugh. I'm like, God, we could have dumped a body there. He didn't even run our names.
that. Right.
So if you're looking to dump a body,
Taking pictures.
yeah, right? I want to take some
But
pictures.
I can kind of understand his point. Because if he lets one person stand there and take pictures,
Right.
somebody's going to climb the fence, and then it's just going to escalate from
Yeah,
there.
I get it.
Yeah.
But it kind of sucks when you want to, go check it out and explore and.
Yeah, because I see these guys on YouTube and stuff all the time where they just go into these abandoned buildings and nobody ever ruffles their feathers or anything like that.
Well, we don't hear about it if they do.
There's that what's that old hotel that's out in South Beloit or in Beloit with the spring.
Well, it was Old Holiday Inn. I forget what they named it now, but I know where you're talking about.
Someone did a video of there. They just got into the old hotel and they were walking through and like the bars were still stocked with alcohol and.
Wow.
Yeah, but it looked like people have gone in there, spray painted, and tossed the stuff. I'm like, wow. You would think if there were kids busting in there, they would have stole the alcohol when they were in there. But yeah, I forget what it's called now. It's on the corner of 251 and whatever road that leads out there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but we used to go there for birthday parties. We would get a room for the night and then have a pool party.
Yeah, but the video on it, you just look at it, the pool's all green and nasty. There's like mold growing through the walls and stuff like that, and it's very creepy.
It's old and decrepit.
We've been to the old paint factory in Rockford, kind of scoped that out, the old watch factory.
Okay.
But just to let everybody know, the fire escape at the old paint factory is not safe. I went up like 4 steps and it broke, and my friend's like, come away from the wall. I'm like, this is how I'm going to die. I got to explain this to my insurance company.
So did you get any bad feelings out there? Or?
No.
No? No, I would definitely, get weird feelings just going on anything, just, abandoned like that would be.
That's why my friends say you go first.
You did bring a picture of Bray Road.
Yes.
You took a trip up to Bray Road because we've been talking about how we need to get up there and make a trip and check it out.
It's actually, there's one house that has almost like a statue of the Beast of Bray Road.
We saw that,
Yes.
a photo of it, yep.
So you can stop by and take pictures, and I mean, they put it out there, so I'm sure they have tons of people stopping.
I'm sure they do, yeah. It's part of the legend up there that
But
we're
we've
going to
never
play
really
into it.
seen anything. The only thing we know is if you do go up there just for fun, turn off all your lights. The phone, headlights, and everything. It
pitch
is
black.
Pitch black.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably really creepy too.
Yeah, and then you hear the stories, how it's pitch black like that, and all of a sudden you see eyes that, the red eyes that glow out there. And
Yeah.
we were watching the Expedition Unknown. Is that what it was called? Expedition Unknown?
Yes, I believe that's the paranormal one.
Yeah, and they had a 2-episode thing of Bray Road where, they actually went out and casted these footprints out
Prints.
there.
Oh, wow.
Where, I guess dogs typically have four toe pads, and this had 5.
They had
And
like extra toe pads,
Yeah.
so they couldn't quite pinpoint it. So
We've
what
never seen anything
animal it
creepy
would
out
be.
there or had any bad vibes or anything, but
Yeah,
a lot of it's just we want to say we've been
it's
there.
just
Yeah, exactly.
just the legend.
yeah,
Yeah,
because me and my kid, I took my kids to the outdoor movie theater last month, and coming home we went up Kennedy Hill Road, which is supposedly a haunted road. And it was like 2:00 in the morning, so I was like, "Oh, it's the witching hour,
Spooky.
right?" And, time to be spooky, and just driving really slow up and down. It's like, there's nothing up here. I'm like, well, I guess I can say I've been out on this road, because
Through the
the
morning.
story is, the woman in white that walks that road, and you pull over, pick her up, and you get off of Kennedy Hill, and she disappears out of your car. That's kind of the history with that. But yeah, we didn't see any woman in white. There isn't anybody out on the road being creepy or anything.
No.
But the thing is with me with Bray Road is that how many people go up there just to mess with people that go up to Bray Road?
We've always been afraid of that because we were up there on the eve of Halloween, and even on, we went and did a couple cemeteries. We went and did Ed Gein's property, and I was afraid to go on Gein's property not because of the paranormal. I was afraid there's like people out there that were gonna like hide and scare people. Like you said.
yeah, just mess with
Yeah.
people.
So how was the Gein property? Did you get vibes off of that?
We've been there twice. The first time we went, there was a few other people, and one of the guys that was with us, his name is Vaughn, and it was the first time he'd ever come out. And on the Ovilus, it said bring him.
No.
Oh,
So he kind of wanted to leave after that.
wow.
But we were there during the day, and we walked around and looked around a lot. But after a while, it just kind of felt like, okay, you guys have been here long enough.
Time to
Leave.
go.
Yeah.
And when we got back in the car, one of my friends, Patty, said the same exact thing. Like, okay, you guys. But there's not much. There's almost like a smokehouse or some kind of small building on the property that we can't figure out what it is. But there's absolutely nothing left.
Maybe
of
it
the
was-
foundation.
Yeah, maybe it was his lampshade making room.
Maybe it was. I don't know how he did that. Do you know what he used to do, like in the neighborhood? He used to babysit.
Really? So he was like,
Everybody thought he was a little strange.
I'm sure.
But if you looked into him and read up on him, he babysat for like the neighborhood kids.
Wow.
And I wonder what those people are thinking now.
Yeah, right. How hard up did you have to be like, man, we don't have a babysitter tonight. Call up the Gein boy.
I know.
See if Ed Gein can come watch our kids.
Yeah,
Can you imagine saying Ed Gein was your babysitter? And I'm sure he was probably fine to the kids because I don't think he.
No, I don't think he.
Not enough skin to do anything.
Kids, right?
No,
He
yeah,
wanted
there's
the
not,
full-size
yeah,
adults.
exactly. They don't make very good lampshades.
Oh boy. So now, where does he live? Is his property by Bray Road up there, or is it
No,
further?
it's quite
okay.
a ways. We went from Lake Geneva, then we went to Bray Road, then we went to Stevens Point, and then we went to Wisconsin Rapids.
Gotcha.
Now, is there something in Lake Geneva?
There were cemeteries,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
but you know, a lot of the cemeteries they say are haunted, but usually I don't get any creepy vibes from the cemeteries.
There's supposed to be a cemetery out towards Gurney Mills Have you heard the story where it's supposedly one of the graveyards out of there is where the real Bloody Mary, the body of the real Bloody Mary is buried? Yeah, somewhere up there in the Gurney Mills area. I was reading about that when we were getting ready for our Bloody Mary episode, which we had to kind of cut short because her microphone cut out after she went into the bathroom and did the Bloody Mary live on the podcast. And she came and sat back down after she's because me and my son were watching her down the hallway at the mirror, and she's like, doing Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, and she's like, nothing, I don't see nothing. I'm like, okay, come back. She sat down and her mic cut out soon as she sat down.
I mean, a lot of things could be coincidence, but you just never know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Never, ever know.
Yeah, so I didn't know if you had heard about the Bloody Mary out there towards...
Then during the day, we went to where the Gein family is buried. But Ed doesn't have a headstone, though.
Gotcha.
Because people were breaking off.
I'm sure they were.
I guess, yeah.
And I guess it was stolen at one time, and I think it was found in Milwaukee or something.
It's so messed up. Like,
Jeez.
I mean, how do you put that on eBay?
Yeah.
No, unless you're really stupid.
Well, before we went live, we were talking about murderabilia, and that can't be sold, right? Like you can't sell.
No, that stuff's like black market. Like you're getting it from a friend of a friend of a friend.
That's a dark web type stuff.
Yeah, for sure. You're not going to put that on eBay. No way.
Well, did you hear about the story about the Harvard? Was it Harvard Medical School was selling the cadavers and stuff like that, body parts on Facebook?
Yes.
So
was it Harvard or Yale? I think.
Maybe it was Yale.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Harvard.
So yeah, one of the schools out there, one of their directors, or I don't know exactly what they were doing, but they were stealing. Basically, when you donate your body to science, some of them go to the medical schools. So he was taking these, body parts and selling them.
Yeah, on Facebook Marketplace.
And then listen to this. If that's not bad enough, he's accepting like Venmo payments or like PayPal payments. And like in the comments, one of them's like brains because, they sold a head to him. Like, are you guys... Like, you're making it so easy for you to...
I'm into the creepy, but
like, really?
I want like body parts. Like, would you put them in like a curio cabinet and...
Right. Well, so apparently they were from like an oddity shop and they were using them for whatever,
Yeah, and I was talking to Liz and Randy during our break between the two shows because I brought up that story to them. Like, did you guys hear about this story? And whether, how do you guys know when you guys... Because they have brains right here in the cabinet. It's like, how do you know? And he's like, well, we have a, pretty good grasp on who we buy our stuff from. It's all about who that they know that it was sourced. I guess if you can say sourced. But yeah, that's crazy. The murderabilia even is such a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
The paintings the drawings of Gacy and.
Well, at one time I think they were able to make money off it, and I think sometime in the 80s they said that if you're in jail for anything like that, you can't profit off of anything.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm sure obviously you get a lot of fans, which is really weird to say, when you're in jail and stuff like that. I mean, you have people wanting to marry these people in jail, which is messed up.
I know.
But, it's crazy.
Yeah. So on your road trip, did you get anything else? Because you stopped at the Jeffrey Dahmer place too, right? The Jeffrey Dahmer lot.
And they have pictures of it. The land is there. I mean, you can still see parts of the foundation in that. And we found like a pot on there. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of funny, creepy, but I don't know how to take it. But we had our Ovilus playing, and it came up with Barrow and Prey.
Oh, wow.
We thought that was kind of creepy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, where's the Dahmer house again?
It's Milwaukee, right?
Milwaukee, okay. Yeah. I was thinking of, there's the one in Chicago, near Chicago. That's
Gacy.
That's Gacy, okay.
They actually built a house on that land.
Yeah, I drove by it. I used to live over there.
Numeric numbers, but
the property is still there.
Yeah, property is still there, and they actually built a brand new house on the property. I'm like, man, just imagine what kind of energy is into that house.
Oh yeah,
That's
creepy.
You know, and
Yeah,
and you know, Pete. We talked to Pete from Twisted Crypt the last time we interviewed him because he's a realtor also. I'm like, in Illinois, you got to disclose this kind of stuff, and he's like, not in Illinois, you don't have to.
Wow, I thought you did have to disclose it.
Yeah, I guess it varies from state to state,
but Illinois. Now there isn't that stigma clause when you sell houses.
Wow.
You give us eyes, a mouth, and a nose, but we can't move for a lack of toes. Atop our head we have a handle.
Showtime!
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Jack, the Pumpkin King!
Our lifeless bodies rotting together.
Sally, I need your help more than anyone's.
You certainly do, Jack.
He's sullen.
He's furtive.
Backstabbing.
He sulks.
I suspect him.
You're unbalanced.
And I hate him. By God, you're right!
Get your limited edition Halloween sticker series now at KevinAHinkle.com. 6 designs to choose from the shark from Jaws, Jack and Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas, a jack-o'-lantern, Morticia and Gomez Adams, and cult classic Sam from the movie Trick or Treat. Yeah, so it was it creepy being in like this area that
Actually, no. I thought I'd get some kind of creepy vibes and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I just kind of walked around it, and of course my friend stood, by the car. But I just kind of walked around to see if I could find anything cool,
Yeah.
But after I saw the pot, I'm like, okay, is this a joke? Is this?
I'm getting that had to been a big joke.
It had to be a joke.
Did you go up there? Was this after or before the big Netflix show came on? After.
It was just a couple months ago.
So I'm pretty sure it was like.
I'm sure it was a joke. Yeah.
Because Jeffrey, people knew of Jeffrey Dahmer, but I think it even brought him even more popularity with that Netflix show.
I think that Netflix show made it more personal.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah. You could see, not that he was like a personable guy, but I guess see him in a different way.
And I'm a big Evan Peters fan, and I thought he knocked the role out of the park. I thought he did really good in it.
Yeah, I guess how can you say you did a good job of acting like a serial killer?
Well, I don't know, but you see him in all of his other stuff, and it was just.
No, he's a great actor. No, I really liked him. So.
But the Dahmer thing was a popular Halloween costume for kids.
Yes, it was.
And people were having a fit. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's funny.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like glorifying this guy. And
I don't take it as that. I just take it as it's not funny that people died.
Yeah.
They are human beings. But you gotta get over some of it.
And you have to look at it too, like in the horror Halloween thing. You have your bad guys, so they're gonna kind of put people like that in those same categories.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's like how many people have Freddy Krueger killed, but yet we can walk around dressing like Freddy Krueger, and that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So where else did you go on?
We went to then after that we went to Wisconsin Rapids.
Okay, what's up there?
There's Forest Hill Cemetery.
Okay.
And it was like 11:45 on the eve of Halloween.
Okay.
Oh.
We're like walking. And of course, it's dark as heck.
Mm-hmm.
And we both were commenting to each other saying, what is that? Do you see that? What is it? And it was a pile of dirt, no less. And then to add to it, there was an open grave.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I am going to trip and fall in this grave. I'm like 5 foot tall. I'm not going to be able to get out.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
But what we picked up on was a voice right by the grave. And we think it says, I'm a beast.
Yeah, I hear I'm a. I'm a beast. I'm a beast. Yeah.
And then after that, we left.
I don't blame you.
We picked up like shadows and stuff at Waverly and other places, but that's the first time we got anything audio.
Okay.
Now my question is, do they typically dig the hole like the day before, like, because you are in the biz, I guess I should say.
It depends.
To where it's just open like that?
It depends. If they do it the day before, they will cover it with boards so people won't fall in.
All right. What was this just open?
It was just open.
Wow.
So.
And before I came here, I tried to go through obituaries in Wisconsin Rapids to see if somebody was buried around that time, and I wasn't able to find anything.
Interesting.
Wow, that's crazy. Wow.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty cool little road trip.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes we do just get out of the house. I mean, my kids are grown.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
go do
that,
something.
and some of my son's friends will be like, your mom bakes, she does this, that, what else does she do? Here's her at Waverly in the morgue. Here's her in a casket at another place.
Right.
now, at Waverly in the morgue, do they have it to where you can lay down in the coolers?
That's where I lay down.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How is that?
I was just afraid that like a bug was going to get me.
A bug?
I didn't get any creepy feelings or anything like that. But Waverly is an incredible place.
Yeah, it's
and the
definitely
owners
on the list.
have finally gotten the place back. Don't quote me on this, but at one time I think the Historical Society was trying to help them remodel and get it back going up again, and then they wanted to take it over and make it into like a bed and breakfast or something.
What?
That'd be interesting.
Well, it would be almost impossible to it because, I mean, some places have no windows.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a very bed and breakfast like type of place.
Yeah, right.
But I think
it's called the Dead and Breakfast.
I think they've won the place back, and
Gotcha.
it's sad that they were trying to overtake something that paranormal investigators just thrive on.
Yeah.
That place is massive. I think it's like 800,000 square feet.
Holy cow.
And I think Chrysler's like 1 million square feet.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's huge.
Nice.
That's
Now,
crazy.
with the Chryslers, no longer here, right? Correct.
We're idled. Technically.
Have you ever had any feelings at the factory? Has there ever been anybody reported something spooky happened?
I would say the only thing that I've had happen, and it wasn't scary, my granddaughter lost her mom a few years ago. She was 8 years old and she lost her. On her mom's urn, there's butterflies, and we just made a little shrine of butterflies. I was doing this telethon test where you would get in the car and run the test. Well, 2 days in a row, I had butterflies in the Jeeps that I got into, and we would do every 5th or 6th car. So,
Oh, wow.
Right.
getting into that, 2 days in a row and seeing butterflies, it was just kind of like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so science.
But I mean, there hasn't been a lot of accidents at Chrysler.
Yeah, to where it would put like a stigma or
Yeah.
a vibe or something like
But that was the only good experience. And like I said, you get into every 5th or 6th car, the chances of 2 days in a row a butterfly being in your car.
Right.
Right?
Wow.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
So, have you been anywhere here local in like the Rockford area that you've had like really great like experiences or like crazy experiences?
No.
No.
I mean, we've been out to Bloods Point, out by Pool Road, all the, hangouts where the urban legend of the little kids and...
Where they push off your car.
Yeah. I think that urban legend is almost in every town.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think there was a episode of Ghost Adventures where they did it, and they debunked it as the reason why when you put you see fingerprints on the back of your car after you dust it with powder is because how many times have you opened your car or put your hands on your car and it's just the oils from your fingertips coming through.
I mean, there's lots of urban legends around. Witch Beulah, out on, I think it's Meridian Road. But I think a lot of them are just urban legends that have been passed down and passed down and passed down.
Yeah.
We were talking to Mistress, all right, Mistress Malicious
Yes,
from
tongue twister.
Yeah. We were talking to her earlier, and she was talking about the mall in Oregon. I forget what the mall's name was, but have you ever investigated out there?
No.
Was it the Roadhouse?
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I actually had tickets. I thought I had tickets, but I got scammed. They were having some dinner night out there, paranormal dinner night, and I had purchased tickets off a guy on Facebook because it was sold out, and it was someone scammed me, and they.
Sucks.
I think that used to be an old slaughterhouse.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, yeah, we were out there quite a few years ago. And, I mean, no creepy vibes, but they would say the jukebox would turn on randomly. But we haven't been back in years. And they do have a lot of events, you know, where you can have dinner and investigate and stuff like that. We did have the kinetic going, though. Mm-hmm. And it looked like two people were, like, sitting there playing cards. But a lot of times, for some reason, the SLS will pick up chairs like that. So we don't know if we picked something up or if it was because it's a chair. I don't know why they pick up certain inanimate objects as something.
Yeah, we actually have a really good video that we picked up with our SLS. It was at my house. We were just kind of messing around with it, you know, showing the kids how it works and stuff like that. And I kept getting this entity would, like, by my refrigerator, it looked like it would reach its hand up and, you know, reach into the refrigerator and just kept bringing its hand down and, like, would put it towards its mouth like it was eating, pulling something out of the refrigerator and putting it in its mouth. Oh. And it was funny because my daughter, she's like 8 years old, 7 I think at the time, and she opened the freezer door and it kind of like reached farther into it. Oh. She closed the door and it just disappeared. And we're like, oh, you know, that's kind of where to go. That's kind of weird. So she opens it back up, and it's all crumpled up inside the freezer and kind of like twitching. There's
another good place. I don't know if they let people in there anymore. We actually did a fundraiser for the Rockford Lithuanian Club. Mm-hmm. And there's been multiple sightings of like people in the dining area to where one guy was like, hey, can I get a burger? And they're like, the kitchen's not open. Because I saw a guy in there eating a burger. And they're like, where?
What?
Wow.
And they're like, in there. And there was like nobody in there.
Wow.
That's wow.
But they had gotten a hold of my committee and they were just trying to raise some funds and asked us, hey, how much would you charge to come over? And we're like, nothing. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a fundraiser.
Yeah.
And in the dining room, we did have the SLS going and figures would show up. Mm-hmm. And one of my friends, Alexis, would put out her hand and it would almost reach for it.
Reach out for it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
for some reason, a lot of our equipment, the batteries died very quickly. Because we always double check to make sure we have extra batteries, everything's charged up, and that. But there's been a few deaths there. Mm-hmm. And it's an old place and lots of cultural history, decades of people joining it. And it's not so much anymore. But years ago, they had a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, you know, you brought up the whole battery situation we talked about in that first session. I forget who we were talking to, but we were out at Stronghold Castle. You know where that's out in Oregon, off
I've
of
heard
2.
of it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We were there for a convention. They were doing like a comic convention. It's an old castle, and you know it's really cool. It has that. Yeah, you walk in and you just get tingles on you. And me and my son got in there early on a Sunday morning before all the other vendors showed up, and we're like, we're going to take our ghost. We weren't supposed to, so we took our equipment in there, and we were investigating this castle. And I had just put brand new batteries in our spirit box. It said my name and then shut off, and it drained the battery, completely drained it. So we changed the battery, put a brand new one in, and it said kids, and then it drained that battery and killed it. It was not, and we kept getting K2 hits all over the place, and it was like it would move. And this is a castle. They don't have like power running up in the top area where it's just older kids' rooms and stuff like that. So, but it would move. Like you would have the K2 here. I was having it spike all the way to red.
Oh, wow.
And I've only had it spike red maybe in a couple instances in different places, but it would hit red, and I would hold it there, and it would disappear. And because if there's something there, electrical wise, it's going to stay there and have that K2 go off the whole time. But no, it would go all red, and it would be like that for a couple seconds, and then it would just stop. And then you would walk a few steps, and then it would go all red again and stop.
Have you ever used like the newest Ovilus 5?
No, haven't.
To where it texts and speaks. We were at Randolph Asylum, and actually one of the words appeared upside down.
Wow.
And it was the name of the owner of the place.
That's nuts.
Wow.
And we've never seen, all the words were fine, and then that one name was like upside down.
No.
That's weird.
Yeah, I've never, I don't own like a full-on Ovilus. I downloaded the Ovilus app, and, I run that, and I've had like full-on conversations. Like I would ask a question, and then it would actually answer, and where it was, because I had a brother that died, and his name was James, but my dad's name was James as well, and he had died as also. So the Ovilus came up and said, I'm like, is there anyone here? And it came up and said, James. I'm like, are you James, my dad, or James, my brother? And it popped up and goes, brother.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And this was in my house. So it was really freaky.
Hair-raising,
yeah, hair-raising. So
we did another fundraiser for the library in Belvedere. Mm-hmm. And they say that, sometimes books will be on the floor when they get in, and they've had housekeepers, janitors quit. And in the children's area downstairs, I had my REM pod going. And it would like go off, and I'm like, okay, you're not going to talk to us. And I'd start to walk away, and it would start going on again. So I'd walk over there, and it would turn off. I'm like, okay, now you're just playing games with me. And I'd walk away, and it would go crazy again.
Wow. That's freaking crazy.
Wolf Hollow here a couple years ago, they had like a question and answer with a medium. Mm-hmm. And there was one young lady in here really distraught over losing her son. Mm-hmm. And his name was Damon, I think. And she's like, I never, ever, ever get any signs. Mm-hmm. And the medium tried to tell her, if you're driving and a song comes on the radio, that can be a sign. She wanted more of a dream or an appearance.
Yeah.
And then she called him Day Day. And I said, what did you call him? She's like, Day Day. And I said, look, Day Day.
Oh, wow.
My grandson's name is Damien, and I started calling him Day Day. Mm-hmm. And she still didn't feel like that was a sign. I'm like, out of all the people, Rockford, Belvedere, McChesney Park, and there's probably only a dozen of us there.
Wow.
And the chances of that,
right,
I think is incredible.
Wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I understand people wanting something more like a physical, them to like come back in a physical form to see, or like a really obvious kind of message from them. But
yeah, when I first getting really, really heavy into the paranormal, this was right before my dad died, and after he died, that was my whole goal, was to try to talk to him. I'm like, this item here, how to manipulate this, talk to the spirit box or whatever, and I've never had anything come across with him, and it's like, just maybe he's off fishing somewhere.
Yeah. And if you want to get your awesome Ghost Frickin' Talkin' merch, make sure you hit us up at gftpodcast.myspreadshop.com, and they have all kinds of different colors and styles, and make sure you get your coffee cups and even your dog bandana.
Yeah,
so maybe he had no unfinished business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's what they say. They ghosts stick around here, they have unfinished business. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So have you been to a lot of the Wolf Hollow events?
I try to make it to as many as I can.
Right.
I always come in here for their my favorite wax melt.
Oh, okay.
Cemetery Stroll.
I've got
It
one.
smells like rain and dirt in my eyes.
Yep.
People think I'm strange, but I love that. That's the only one that I buy.
Okay.
Is the
That's
Cemetery
awesome.
Stroll.
Yeah, I like was it Black 101, I think it is, and I hope they come back out with it. It was Sugar Plum Fairies was another melt that they had during Christmas time. It smells so good.
See, I've only bought in the Cemetery Stroll. It's just, I don't know, it's a little, I don't know. I just love it.
Yeah, just nature, I guess.
I love their melts here. So if you guys are in the Rockford area, come down to Wolf Hollow and get some awesome smelling melts. That's for sure.
Yeah, along with the bunch of
the
awesome
candles.
other stuff.
Yeah.
All kinds of cool stuff here.
Yeah, I don't know if they still have it or not, but they had like brain matter and stuff like that in there for sale and
brain
matter. Yeah, it was like.
Well, yeah, no, they have all those little.
The vials.
Yeah, taxidermy items
stuff, yeah.
of animals or even parts of humans, I guess.
I remember the first time I came in here, they had a full-on spinal column that they were selling. I'm like, man,
cool.
This is my type of place. This is really cool.
Yeah, a guy from work found this place. He's like, Linda, you have got to go here.
Yeah.
Right.
He goes, I walked in, I thought of you.
Yeah, no, this place is awesome. So.
Yeah. So, do you guys still go on like full-on investigations, or you?
It's slowed down a lot since we've been idled.
Yeah.
But my co-chair Mary and I, we go out and just do crazy things and just try to explore ourselves and find things that already haven't been pre-set in your mind as, this is haunted because this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Right.
So you're predetermined, like if you showed up at like a Jeffrey Dahmer's place, and it's like, I'm going to hear something about, dudes in refrigerators or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that part's fun. One of my favorite places was Waverly, but sometimes we just like to find abandoned places and go out on our own. And
So were you guys ever like approached to like do like home investigations or?
Not really, no.
No. Yeah, because I don't know too many like in the Rockford area that are like full-on investigators for private homes. I was part of one, but unfortunately I got right at the end of it. Was Winnebago County Paranormal.
Uh-huh.
And they disbanded just as soon as I got on the team. I was like, I
course
scared
they
it.
did.
I must
You
have
scared
I scared
everyone
everyone off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my friends collects stuff from there. He's got like a lock of Charles Manson's hair. He's got dirt from Ed Gein's place.
Wow.
He's got something from Gacy. I can't remember. But he makes me look like an amateur. He's got a piece of board from the Demon House in Gary.
Nice. Wow. I'm surprised that Zach left anything back from the Demon House.
I guess it was just like a pile of wood, but it didn't look like it was dumped there because it was still nailed together.
Huh.
So if somebody was just using it as a dump, you'd think that it would have been separated and they just dumped it there.
Yeah, because those not aware of the Demon House in Gary, Zach Baggins bought the house, did a whole freaking movie on it, and then he was troubled by it so much that he had it torn down.
No, I don't know why he does that.
But the thing is
he had it torn down.
He had it torn down, but he still has the house, the pieces, in a storage facility out in Vegas.
Oh.
So, he still has all the pieces.
He does have a lot of. He's got Kevorkian's vehicle.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to check out his go out to Vegas and check out his museum.
Yeah.
And just imagine the feels you get going into that place.
I know. I can't remember the other podcast that I was talking to them about. They were joking about Zach Baggins, and they said, if you were at his museum, what could you say to embarrass him? And I was like, I would just act like I didn't know him and be like, excuse me, sir, the ladies' room needs a little toilet paper. Because I'm not a fan of Zach, just because he intensifies everything.
Yeah.
You're not going to find something at every single place you go.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. And to, I'm gonna stick up for Zach because he's my boy. But they did go to that one in Seattle, and where this dude had like stuff written on his wall, 666 and this and that, and they did the whole show, didn't get any kind of evidence, and they're like, we think this dude's just making up all this stuff.
I do watch it just to see the places he goes and then look it up afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's still a show, so he's
exactly.
Amping it up a little bit for the viewers. I get it.
Yeah, I think like the newer stuff, is definitely more of a show than like the earlier stuff where it seemed more genuine than now they have to for ratings.
It's like Ghosts on Demand. It's like you can't go and like you said, you're not going to get hits every single time.
Did you ever watch the Osbournes, Want to Believe?
Yes.
I love Ozzy.
Yeah, that show's pretty cool.
But again, who knows how real it is, but just seeing Ozzy do that, everything's ball lightning.
Yeah.
Or, it's, the camera.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a double exposure.
Yeah, it's a double
It's digital.
It's digital. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, but that show's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's like us, because she'll see something on TikTok or whatever, and she'll be like, "Oh, check this out." I'm like, "I see the string right there." she's like, "You want to be a paranormal investigator, yet you debunk everything that you send to me." And she goes, and then she's like, "But yet you'll think that Mothman's real."
Yes, Bigfoot is not, but Mothman is.
There's no such thing as Bigfoot, but there is a Mothman.
You never know. I mean, why haven't you seen like babies or carcasses of Bigfoot?
You wonder.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. See?
Because maybe he's maybe there is something more to the like interdimensional cryptids.
Yeah, where
with like the portals.
The
and stuff.
portals and stuff they say they walk through.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many hunters out there, trail cams. Why hasn't anyone seen it yet?
Yeah, but then you got to think about too. There are still a lot of places that we as humans really don't, go and inhabit, and there's still a lot of places that we haven't even explored. So who knows what's out there?
But then on the other hand is that, I'm pro Mothman, but with everyone's got like a Ring camera or all these businesses, like especially if he's messing out there at the airport, there's cameras everywhere. How come it hasn't been caught on camera?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's been reports of him even at O'Hare.
Yeah, there was just one in December that a firefighter actually saw him outside the fire department. And I'm like, I don't think a fireman's gonna lie. I think firemen gotta be pretty honest.
Yeah, you'd like to hope so, but yeah, it's interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you get into more the cryptid? You went up to Bray Road to see if there was a beast out there, but do you get into the cryptid stuff too, or?
I think I need more proof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it's just there's not a lot of pictures. There's more people saw this or thought
Just
they saw
stories,
that.
yeah.
And like you said, there's trail cams and ring cams.
Yeah.
Why haven't we seen more?
Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of the stuff is you just want to say, oh, guess where I went over the weekend? I went to Bury Road.
Yeah, exactly.
And we went out there the last time right after we saw the last Children of the Corn. So we were looking out.
So, what time were you on Bray Road?
Oh, it was late.
Yeah.
Between like 10 o'clock and midnight.
Okay.
And were there like a lot of other people on the road too?
No.
No, because we went when I was out in New Jersey. We went out to what was supposed to be like the most haunted road in America, and it was like the day before Halloween. We were out there, and we were on the road, and it was not a lot of people going in and out of the road, but there are like cars that were kind of trolling to go out there and being like, what are you guys doing out here?
See who they can mess with.
Yeah, seeing who they can mess with and that. So, they were in full on masks.
Oh,
They
wow.
pulled up in their car and they had like masks on. They were looking to mess with people that were out there looking for stuff on the road.
Yeah.
Like me and my buddies were. Yeah. So that's the only thing that it's hard to go out there and not get messed with by people. So good to see that no one was out there to mess with you on Bray
I know,
Road.
because I would have one time we were at Malvern Manor, and there was people on like the upper floors, and we were walking on like one of the lower floors, and one of the committee people walked out of a bedroom and scared the crap out of me. They heard me scream all the way up on like 2 floors up.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, gosh, what if somebody was walking by and they just hear this blood-curdling scream?
You brought this brick in today. You want to tell me more about the brick?
Okay, there's a place in Gary, Indiana. It's the City Methodist Church. For some reason, I am so drawn to that place. I could just go in there and sit for hours. And I borrowed the brick, by the way. I'm taking it back next week. It is just so calming to me. And the biggest reason we went there was it ended up being a deleted scene, but a scene from the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street was filmed there.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
And I think Transformers was filmed there too, and I can't remember what band did a video there too.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Very cool.
But I mean, that church
that,
is beautiful.
Yeah, from the pictures here, I mean, it's obviously run down, but you know, I'm surprised that there's still a lot of windows left. For one, you said there was not a lot of
mantles,
vandalism.
they're still pretty much all in one piece. Lots of graffiti.
Yeah.
You know. But for some reason, I love graffiti too.
Yeah, I do too.
I just think it's incredible that they can just take a can of spray paint and do it.
Yeah.
I can't finger paint, you know.
No, it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I need to get better artists down by my house, underneath the bridge and that, because those artists are horrible.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, writing, it's like, dude was here.
Yeah.
I want to know how do they get to some of these overpasses?
That's what I want to know.
Right.
Some of the over the bridges, over the overpasses. I mean, they're really literally hanging off the side.
And when do they do it? That I mean, if you're
in the
just,
middle of the
driving
night,
down the
yeah.
road,
Hoping a cop doesn't.
and you see someone hanging from it.
I think most people probably keep their mouth shut at that time of night, but yeah, I would imagine if I saw someone on doing graffiti on a bridge, I wouldn't call the cops or anything.
No.
I'd be like, cool, have fun, don't kill yourself.
All right, so you've been to Waverly Hills and that. Is there one place that you is on your bucket list that you really want to go?
I would like to go back and spend the night at the Ohio State Reformatory.
Oh yeah.
Ohio State Reformatory.
Where Shawshank Redemption was filmed.
Okay.
Oh, very cool.
I mean,
Have you been there before?
Yes.
Okay.
It was like a day tour.
Gotcha.
And I
you
like
didn't get the spooky
go
factor.
at
of it,
night.
Gotta do the night tour, yeah.
I mean, the showers, they're creepy.
Yeah.
They're creepy.
Very cool. Yeah.
But like I said, I want to go at night. I'm a night owl. I love the night.
Yeah, get the
I've always
experience.
wanted to check out the Villisca Axe House in Iowa. Have you been to that?
No, I just heard that it's really small. You can't take a lot of people.
No. So how big is your group typically?
Right. At one time we had 12, but with all the cuts at Chrysler, we're down to just a handful.
Ah, okay.
But there's been some other plans that have wanted to get paranormal committees going and have contacted me. Mm-hmm. Just like economy with, Chrysler or Stellantis as they call it, Ford. It's shaky grounds right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because we drove past it. We were going to Woodfield or something like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, not too much happening over there. And she's like, I had no idea that.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was shut down.
Shut down. Well, idle.
Closed.
Well,
Yeah.
technically they can't shut a place during a contract.
Yeah.
They can idle it. So
Gotcha.
it's just a matter of wording.
Gotcha. But it's empty. There's no workers there, correct?
I mean, there's skilled trades in there, but production or anything like that, no.
No production. Gotcha.
Very cool. All right, so believe don't know if our other guest was ready to come on. I don't know
I
if
have
they're
no
here or
idea.
not, or I don't know. I haven't seen. But yeah, you're more than welcome to stick around until, because we were supposed to have the newly deads.
Yeah, I know they said they were doing the oddities thing, so they may not have come down in time.
All right.
So.
Your next guests are on the way.
Okay.
They're about 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Great.
Very cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll probably take off One of our dogs had puppies, so we got 5 puppies.
Yeah, that's
Very
a lot of
cool.
work.
That are almost like 6 weeks old. All they do is poop and pee.
Yeah, that's a lot of work in the beginning.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much,
you very
and
much.
definitely dig the.
Yeah,
did you
thanks
pick up
for
the, Did you feel this? There's like a total vibe to it. You feel it? Do you feel the vibe, or is it just a brick?
It's just a brick. See, I don't feel I don't get the feelings like he does.
I do.
You know, and like other people do. And
No, that's good for you guys.
Oh, thank you.
The pictures and the Bray Road pictures.
Oh, thank you very much.
sweet. Thank you so
Everything like that.
much.
Thank
Oh,
you.
that's great.
Thank you, guys.
I appreciate it. Thank
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Everyone has a story to tell, and as always,
Stay spooky.
stay spooky. You mother truckers.
Peace.